Ubisoft recently showed off Assassin's Creed Valhalla to the world, and let me tell you, during the reveal trailer, Ubisoft made me never soft. Ha! Assassin's Creed is one of my most favourite game series in the whole wide world. To hell with you! My favourite in the series is hands down Assassin's Creed 2. It was one of the first games I got all the achievements for, and then did it again on PS4, so ladies, join the queue. Everything about it I love. Yes, even the modern day stuff. And I will happily jump into a gladiator pit to fight my corner. Or circle. Whatever side of the... You get what I mean. Ezio is still the best character this series put out. Most of that probably has to do with the fact that he has the most games. Italy was the best location, and the game had the best story. And every game since 2 showed a slow decline in quality. Like me every year since my 18th birthday. 4 was great, but I'm in the minority because the ship stuff, nah mate, that shit ain't for me. It's remained one of my favourite series, but sadly Assassin's Creed Unity fucking broke me. By far the series' low point, and Syndicate was just far too similar, even though everyone says it's better. Both of those games can burn in the fiery pits of hell and never to return. If anyone who worked on those games ever sees this video, you done goofed. Nah, I'm kidding. Fucking love you, really. Then Origins came along to beat me up for all the horrible things I've said about the previous entries, and then hug me as if to say, I'm here now. I think what helped was I absolutely loved The Witcher 3, if you know what I mean. Wink wink. And Origins takes a huge amount of inspiration from that game. The game took a massive deviation to what has come before, becoming a massive RPG game, but it still paid respect to like the overall story. We finally had a decent modern day section and ended with this hunk coming back into the frame. We saw the start of the Assassin Order. We saw the origins, he said it, of the symbol, and my personal favourite, how the whole thing of cutting your ring finger off for the hidden blade like came to be. I thought that was fucking great. Bayek was my favourite character since Edward. His story felt very personal and I felt emotionally attached to it all. Egypt was, well, it was hot as fuck. Pun intended. The series finally hit a high point again and I was so happy. Man, I even got the platinum for it. Now, I'm not bragging, but look at that platinum. I was slightly disappointed that Odyssey was coming out the year after because I genuinely wasn't ready to do it all again. Especially because Ubisoft released some fucking really good DLC for Origins that kept me busy. But then Odyssey came out and it was good. Everyone online, from what I've seen, all say that Odyssey is the best in the series. Well, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I'm here to tell you, you're wrong. Odyssey isn't the best in the series, and it sure as shit isn't better than Origins. Here's why. The first few hours into Assassin's Creed Odyssey, one thing struck me. What is the point in all of this? Sure, Greece was beautiful and the story was interesting, but how did this fit into the bigger picture? That doesn't really play into things until the very end when you realize, spoiler, that you accidentally create the Templar Order. And that was cool, I'll admit. But coming from someone who loves the series and the bigger story at large, Origins did this way better. Odyssey could have been any other game. It didn't have to be Assassin's Creed and it still would have worked. Origins was so important to the overall lore, seeing that, well, you know, the origins of the fucking assassins, and how little things become important in later games. Like I briefly mentioned before, it literally blew my mind when I played that mission where Bayek was to assassinate some guy in a bathhouse, and it goes tits up, and when he flicks his little fucking hidden blade out and the ring finger goes, then later in the game the new assassins all chop their ring finger off as a sign of respect to Bayek. I nearly cried. Honest. Not really. I'm hard as fuck. And I also loved how Origins had those temples that linked back to the mad sci-fi shit that I also fucking adore. Odyssey didn't have any of that and I really missed it. Also, Odyssey leaned into some batshit ideas like those mythological creatures being real, and whilst cool, I didn't get it. Also, the modern day stuff felt lacking. There were for sure some cool moments, but Origins was a great introduction to Layla, and it also ended with a great cliffhanger, Desmond's dad coming back into things. Odyssey didn't really have that, and almost acted like none of that happened, and Layla is just on another expedition, which was a fucking shame. Now, I could really go into why I think Bayek is 1,000 times more interesting and more likable than these two, but I don't really like making long videos anymore, so just know I think Bayek is better. Another one of the biggest reasons why I think Origins was better than Odyssey was the size of the map and the sheer amount of stuff to do. It was music to my ears when I heard that Valhalla will be smaller and shorter than Odyssey. That's fucking great, because I'd like to remind everyone again, and I'm not bragging, that I platinumed Origins and it took me about 80-ish hours to kind of do everything. I tried my best to platinum Odyssey, but I just couldn't. The game beat me. There were just too much stuff to do, and I felt like it would never end. It also got super repetitive. My playtime for Odyssey was about 140 hours, almost double my time with Origins, and that annoyed me, weirdly enough, just because I didn't finish everything, and I felt like I still had so much to do, and like, you know, it gets too overwhelming. I enjoyed my time with Odyssey, but I hated cleaning up the map. As stated earlier, I'm not crazy about the ship gameplay in these games, so I was super happy that Origins didn't have any. It was just one big map, and I didn't mind it in Odyssey, but my god, I fucking hated sailing to the shitty small island that only had one camp on it, and then to sail all the way fucking back. No, thank you. And the mercenary thing wasn't as fun. I liked it in Origins where you had like a certain number of these fucking badass guys, the fucking Flackies, I don't know. They would come and hunt you down, and you best be ready for a fight when you come across them. And then when you defeat them, it would lead into this quest, and that was cool. That was great. Odyssey was lazy as hell with these mercenaries, constantly respawning and getting in the way when I'm trying to stealthily clean out a camp. It was just too overwhelming, whereas Origins was just right. I'm very, 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 very much looking forward to Valhalla. I'm super happy it's smaller and shorter than Odyssey, and hopefully it'll be another high point in the series. Will it be better than 2? Fuck no.